Welcome everybody to a Minecraft Cubed Symphony of Bliss bonus video. This is a behind the scenes video, once again, and I'm going to talk about the prizes and punishments competition, which just wrapped up here, which was quite a fun one, I thought. Of course, there were quite a few changes in this version of the competition compared to previous ones that I thought made it more fun, but it also made it a little bit more sophisticated to put together. So I'm going to go into details here. It should be a pretty quick one because there's not too much to this, but I like to have these videos so that when I make these competitions again, I can just watch the video and I don't have to like relearn all of this stuff, because there was a lot of trial and error getting some of this to work the way I wanted it to. So yeah, also even the punishments I had to kind of be a bit creative here because I think people are just so busy this season. There's not a lot of gameplay I've noticed outside of the competitions, and in the past, the punishments have mostly been gameplay related. So I had to try and come up with something that would be a good punishment, but could be enjoyed off the server. And I'm pretty happy with the result of that thought exercise. But I digress. Let me just get right into this so you all know how this works. So I'm just going to go straight into the redstone. It's always been that I use commands to place redstone torches on the back of these lamps. That's how they turn on over time. But before I was using a redstone comparator to keep track of how many items have been accumulated by each player. And this season, I decided to try and use scoreboards, which was a much more efficient way of doing things. But it did complicate the process a little bit. So eventually I figured it out though. So I'll just start with the basic, like how does the game keep track of your points? So I use these this chain of command blocks here. This does all of the score keeping. And so this is the thing I had to figure out how to do. I'm using the execute command, and it's don't worry too much about the syntax here, but what's really happening is that every time you throw an item down the chute, it's keeping track of how many you throw. And that's why if you throw multiple items down at the same time, they'll clump together, and so it won't count properly. That's why I really stress the importance of throwing them down one at a time. But it will keep track of any items that pass through, and it will store the result into this objective I created called PP1. Prizes and punishments is what that stands for, I think. And so it keeps track of that. And then it will kill them. So it'll kill the items that are on the ground so that they go away. And then I have the second objective called PP2, and this is really the score that's keeping track of your total progress. So it's adding PP1 to PP2. PP1 will keep changing every time you throw items down. That's just keeping track of how many items you've thrown down in that instance. But PP2 is your real score here. So that's always going up until you reach 2300, but I'll get into that in a minute. So that's the main thing, and then it plays this firework sound. It's not a real firework that's launched unless you have the handicap, which is what this last command block does. This is what summons the deadly firework. As you can see, Space MC has this one and Polar Owl does not, because a Polar Owl never received that particular handicap. But there's one of these adds it to the end of the chain. I don't remember which one, but I'll get into handicaps more in a minute. So as far as the scoring goes, like I said, there's that incrementer. I think we can probably see this here. Space MC. As we can see, his PP2 is currently at 1,551. So that's his progress. And one of these lines is for Space MC, and the other is for Polar Owl. I can't remember which one, but this is Space MC. So as you can see, it starts at 0. Once it reaches 150, I think everybody figured this out, that 150 is the threshold you need to light up another lamp. So here's evidence right here. You were correct all along. This will place the first redstone torch down, and once it reaches 300, it will place the next one down, and so on and so forth, until eventually we get to this last one, and this is the, you did it, you get the message in the chat, you get the pink, or whatever color, concrete falling down. It's very convenient, the gravity. And you'll reset the score back to 0, so you can repeat the process all over again. Then this is the message in the chat, I think. There we go. Here's the other one. We don't want... Oh, also, yeah, you also get currency added to your score. I'll get into that in a second as well. But it works just the same as in the Thanksgiving competition. There we go. So, let's get into the handicaps. This was one of the new features. I made this little tunnel here so that I didn't have to keep switching between spectator mode. So this is really simple, though. Of course, we just have the, you pick one, and then it goes through all the things. The first thing it does is it deletes the button, so you can't press the same one twice in a row, and so that's what this command block does. And then this is going to teleport you back to the overworld, or back to the competition center. This is the message in the chat. So, 2 progress bombs. Space MC kept getting progress bombs, which could have been useful, but none of them actually ended up getting used. And then Polar Owl was actually racking up a bunch of quite impactful handicaps on Space MC. Then we have this is the command. So this is in this case it just gives Space MC the progress bombs. But most of these, the ones that aren't progress bombs, place a redstone torch down over here into this other room, and that's what you're seeing here. So when a redstone torch goes down here, that activates a handicap. So let's see. So this is one. Oh, this is the one that Space MC imposed on Polar Owl. This is the lava block that appears in her chute that is there like every couple of seconds, making it more difficult to complete your deposit. So the way that works is that I have this other scoreboard here that's cycling. It's another block cycle, and it goes from 1 to 10. And when it's from 1 to 7, there's no lava there, and when it's from 8 to 10, there is lava there. And this is actually how the Happy Host subscription works as well. So that's this one, I think. Yes. So when Space MC's score matches 1 on that same cycle, he gets a bunch of hose, and then so that repeats every 10 ticks or whatever on that cycle. So as you can see, though, Space MC has a torch here because he had that handicap, and Polar Owl does not. But if she were to have gotten that handicap, you would see a torch here as well. And so this is just other stuff. What is this? These are the deadly fireworks. So this is the command that added that command block to here, adding the fireworks. As you can see, there are a couple of handicaps that nobody ever discovered. This was an interesting one. Let me show this. So if this handicap were activated, this would have added, assuming it works here, I hope. Oh yes, there we go. It makes the ground in front of the chute magma blocks, so that complicates things a bit. You can still toss items in, but it's a little finicky. Sometimes it takes a couple of tries. It would have been quite annoying. So you should be happy you didn't get this one. Imagine having this on top of the lava and the fireworks. It could have gotten ugly. Anyways, I don't know how much left there is to say here. I think all that's left is the currency. So that works just as the same as it did before. We have a command block here that you can only press if your currency is at least 1. And if it is at least 1, it removes 1 from your currency, and then it will go ahead and teleport you to the room. I think that's all. Yes, it is all. All right, so I think that's pretty much everything. Like I said, it was a quicker one. I think the Battle Zones video was like half an hour, but this was much quicker. So that's all for this competition. Thank you both once again for participating in it. It was really fun. But until the next one.